The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, punctuated by the sleek silhouette of the human exploration vessel. Captain June Park stood motionless, his eyes fixed on the holographic display that flickered with an approaching alien craft. The ship's communication systems hummed with anticipation, the tension so thick it could be cut with a knife. Yuna Kim, the ship's communications officer, adjusted her headset and ran her fingers across the quantum translation matrix. Her normally calm demeanor was betrayed by a slight tremor in her hand. This was humanity's first official encounter with an advanced alien civilization from beyond the Orion cluster. The alien vessel was unlike anything humans had ever encountered. Its hull shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting colors like oil on water. Geometric patterns danced across its surface, suggesting a technology far more advanced than anything in human understanding. "Incoming transmission," Yuna announced, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. The bridge crew held their collective breath. Captain Park nodded, a subtle gesture that signaled readiness. The alien communication crackled to life. The language was a complex series of harmonic tones and rhythmic pulses that initially sounded like nothing more than sophisticated noise. But slowly, the quantum translation matrix began to make sense of the communication. "Unidentified human vessel," the translation came through. "You have entered restricted space." June Park stepped forward, his posture relaxed but authoritative. "This is an open space sector. Our navigation charts indicate no restrictions." The response was immediate and unexpected. "Navigation charts mean nothing to the Galactic Confederation. You are trespassing." What should have been a routine diplomatic exchange quickly began to feel like a powder keg of potential conflict. Yuna's fingers danced across her console, analyzing every nuance of the communication, searching for underlying meanings and potential threats. The alien vessel began to shift position, its movements fluid and precise. It wasn't an aggressive maneuver, but it wasn't entirely peaceful either. It was a display of technological superiority, a subtle warning. "We come in peace," June responded, using the classic diplomatic phrase that had been part of human first contact protocols for decades. "We seek understanding and cooperation." Beneath the calm exterior, the bridge crew was preparing for multiple scenarios. Weapon systems were quietly powered up, not as a threat, but as a precautionary measure. Defense shields hummed with potential energy, ready to activate at a moment's notice. The alien response was cryptic. Peace is a complex concept. Humans are known for their unpredictability. It was more of an observation than an accusation. Years of intercepted communications and distant observations had clearly given the alien confederation some insights into human nature. Yuna caught Captain Park's eye. Something in the alien's tone suggested more than a simple territorial dispute. There was curiosity mixed with a hint of caution, perhaps even fear. "We respect the sovereignty of all spacefaring civilizations," June carefully replied. "Our intention is exploration and mutual understanding." The alien vessel made another subtle movement, a dance of technological sophistication that seemed to communicate more than words. It was a demonstration, a warning and a challenge all wrapped into one elegant maneuver. Minutes stretched into what felt like hours. The bridge crew remained perfectly still, every system alert and every sense heightened. This was more than a first contact scenario. This was a delicate dance of potential conflict and potential cooperation. Suddenly, the alien vessel's communication systems shifted. The harmonic tones changed, becoming something closer to a formal communication protocol. "Humans will be observed," the translation came through. "Your first actions will determine everything." With those cryptic words, the alien vessel began to move, not retreating but positioning itself in a way that suggested continued monitoring. Captain June Park allowed himself a small, almost imperceptible smile. First contact had just become infinitely more interesting. Dr. Hyun Kwan's research laboratory looked nothing like a traditional scientific workspace. Screens covered every wall, displaying complex algorithms and neural network simulations that seemed to pulse with living energy. Outside the reinforced windows, the research station orbited silently above Earth, a testament to human technological ambition. The breakthrough had come unexpectedly. What started as a project to improve communication systems had transformed into something far more revolutionary. Hyun stared at the holographic projection, his fingers tracing the intricate neural pathways that represented a completely new approach to understanding alien communication and strategic thinking. "It's not just a weapon," he muttered to himself. "It's a cognitive interpreter." The team around him worked with a focused intensity. Young researchers from diverse backgrounds, programmers, linguists, psychologists, and quantum physicists, moved between workstations like a perfectly synchronized machine. They were humanity's best hope for understanding the complex communication systems of alien civilizations. The core of the breakthrough was a quantum neural algorithm that could predict behavioral patterns with unprecedented accuracy. It wasn't about brute force or overwhelming firepower. Instead, it was about understanding the deepest psychological motivations of potential adversaries. Suddenly, one of the junior researchers, Min Seo, called out, "Dr. Kwan, look at this." The holographic display shifted, showing a simulation of alien communication patterns. The algorithm began to break down complex communication structures, revealing hidden layers of meaning that had previously been invisible to human analysis. "We're not just translating," Hyun explained to his team. "We're understanding the fundamental thought processes behind the communication." The implications were staggering. Traditional warfare relied on physical strength and technological superiority. This new system turned conflict into a sophisticated psychological chess match. By predicting an opponent's thoughts before they could form them, humanity could neutralize threats without firing a single weapon. Government representatives watched the demonstration with a mixture of excitement and concern. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. It was a complete reimagining of strategic interaction. "Imagine," Hyun told the panel of military and scientific advisors, "being able to understand an enemy's intentions before they even realize them themselves." The demonstration continued. The quantum neural algorithm could now predict communication patterns, emotional responses, and potential strategic decisions with remarkable precision. It was like having a crystal ball that could peer into the minds of potential adversaries. Outside, the research station Earth continued its routine rotation. Most of humanity remained unaware of the potential revolution happening in this small orbiting laboratory, a revolution that could change the very nature of conflict and communication. Min Seo ran another simulation, this time incorporating data from previous alien communication intercepts. The results were mind-blowing. The algorithm could now reconstruct entire communication histories, revealing patterns that no human analyst had ever noticed before. "It's adaptive," Hyun explained, his eyes bright with the excitement of scientific discovery. "The more data it processes, the more sophisticated its understanding becomes." The military advisors leaned forward, their initial skepticism giving way to genuine interest. This wasn't just another technological toy. This was a game-changing approach to understanding potential threats. As the day progressed, the team continued to refine the algorithm. Each breakthrough seemed to open up new possibilities. What had started as a communication research project was now a potential key to understanding interstellar interactions. Hyun watched the holographic display, seeing not just data, but the potential for a completely new approach to human interaction with the universe. It wasn't about building bigger weapons or stronger defenses. It was about understanding, truly understanding, the complex web of communication that connected different civilizations. "We're not preparing for war," he told his team as the day drew to a close. "We're preparing to understand." The research station continued its silent orbit, a beacon of human potential and scientific innovation. Inside, Dr. Hyun Kwan and his team had just changed the future of human interaction with the unknown. As the last simulation ran, the quantum neural algorithm pulsed with a kind of artificial intelligence that seemed almost alive, a testament to human creativity and the endless potential of scientific discovery. The transport ship hummed quietly as Lieutenant Yoon-ji reviewed the mission parameters. Her team of 6 special operations soldiers looked more like technical specialists than traditional military personnel. Each wore a lightweight adaptive suit that could change color and texture almost instantly, blending into any environment. Their target was a critical alien communication hub located in a remote star system. Traditional military wisdom would suggest a direct assault, but Eunji's team was anything but traditional. Dr. Hyun Kwan's neural algorithm sat quietly in their communication systems, a digital weapon more powerful than any physical armament. The mission wasn't about destruction, it was about understanding and manipulation. "We have a 72-hour window," Eunji told her team. Her voice was calm, almost matter-of-fact. "Our goal is complete network disruption without a single physical weapon being fired." The team understood. They weren't soldiers in the traditional sense. They were information warriors, trained to fight battles in the complex realm of communication and psychological strategy. As they approached the alien communication hub, the ship's advanced stealth systems made them virtually invisible. The hub itself was a massive structure, floating in the cold darkness of space. Intricate communication arrays stretched out like metallic tentacles, processing billions of data streams every second. Ji-hun, the team's primary communication specialist, began the first phase of their attack. His fingers moved across quantum interfaces, sending carefully constructed communication packets that looked like routine maintenance signals. "We're in," he whispered, a slight smile crossing his face. The neural algorithm began its work. It wasn't about breaking through defenses. It was about understanding the communication system so completely that the team could move through it like ghosts. Slowly, carefully, they began to inject subtle modifications into the communication network. Each modification was so small, so precise, that it would be impossible to detect as an attack. They were rewriting the very language of the communication system. Hours passed. The alien communication hub continued to function, unaware that its entire operational framework was being systematically reimagined. Eunji watched the progress, her eyes tracking multiple holographic displays. Each display showed a different layer of the communication network, each one revealing how deeply they had penetrated the system. By the 48-hour mark, they had done something unprecedented. They hadn't destroyed the communication hub, they had transformed it. The network would continue to function, but now it would function according to parameters set by human intelligence. "It's like performing surgery on a living organism," Ji-hun explained. "We're not killing it. We're changing how it thinks." The final hours of the mission were the most delicate. They needed to ensure that their modifications would remain undetected, that the communication hub would continue to operate as if nothing had changed. As the 72-hour window came to a close, Eunji gave the extraction order. The team prepared to leave, their adaptive suits already shifting to match the background of their transport ship. "Mission complete," she reported to headquarters. What they had accomplished was more than a military victory. They had demonstrated a completely new approach to conflict. No weapons had been fired, no physical damage had been done, yet they had fundamentally altered an entire communication infrastructure. Days later, when alien leadership would discover the modifications, they would be unable to pinpoint exactly what had happened. The changes were so subtle, so perfectly integrated, that they would seem like natural evolution, rather than an intentional attack. Eunji knew this was just the beginning. Humanity had discovered something far more powerful than traditional warfare. They had discovered how to fight battles in the realm of information and understanding. As the transport ship moved silently through space, the team allowed themselves a moment of quiet satisfaction. They had just changed the nature of conflict, forever. The universe would never be the same. The Galactic Council chamber was a massive circular room, designed to accommodate representatives from dozens of different civilizations. Crystal walls reflected soft light, creating an atmosphere of calm that belied the tension brewing beneath the surface. Sok-woo stood at the center, humanity's lone representative. He was neither intimidating nor apologetic. His stance was simply matter-of-fact, a living embodiment of human complexity that both fascinated and terrified the assembled alien representatives. Representatives from the Crystalline Collective, the Silicon Confederacy, and the Organic Spiral watched him with a mixture of curiosity and concern. Holographic displays surrounded Siak Wu, showing detailed records of human military and technological achievements over the past decade. Humanity has demonstrated a capacity for adaptation that defies our understanding, announced the Crystalline representative, its voice a series of musical tones translated into standard galactic language. The evidence was overwhelming. Humans had managed to infiltrate communication networks, predict strategic movements, and neutralize potential conflicts without traditional warfare. Each recorded incident showed a level of innovative thinking that challenged everything the Galactic Council believed about conflict resolution. The holographic displays showed the communication hub incident, Dr. Hyun Kwan's neural algorithm, and Lieutenant Yoon Ji's specialized mission. Each presentation revealed a disturbing pattern. Humans could transform conflict into something entirely unpredictable. They are not just a military threat, the Silicon Confederacy representative noted. They are a fundamental disruption to our understanding of strategic interaction. Siak Wu remained silent. He didn't need to defend humanity. The evidence spoke for itself. Each presentation revealed how humans approached challenges differently, not through brute force, but through innovative thinking and psychological understanding. The most concerning aspect was humanity's ability to adapt. Traditional alien civilizations had specific protocols for conflict. Humans seemed to view these protocols as suggestions rather than absolute rules. They would find creative solutions that no other civilization had ever considered. In our 1,000-year historical records, the Organic Spiral representative stated, no species has demonstrated such rapid technological and strategic evolution. The chamber fell silent. The holographic displays continued to cycle through various human achievements. Each image told a story of innovation, of thinking beyond established boundaries. Junior representatives whispered among themselves. Some showed fear, others showed a grudging respect. Humanity had become something more than just another spacefaring civilization. They had become a variable that could not be easily calculated or controlled. Siak Wu understood the unspoken conclusion forming in the chamber. Humanity wasn't just a potential threat. They were a fundamental challenge to the established galactic order. Your species introduces chaos into carefully maintained systems, the Crystalline representative finally declared. Its tone was not angry but clinical, like a scientist observing an unexpected experiment. The evidence was comprehensive. Humans had shown they could infiltrate communication networks, predict strategic movements, and neutralize potential conflicts without traditional warfare. Each recorded incident revealed a level of innovative thinking that challenged fundamental galactic principles. We are not seeking conflict, Siak Wu finally spoke, his voice calm and measured. We are seeking understanding, but everyone in the chamber knew that humanity's version of understanding was fundamentally different from any other civilization's interpretation. The Silicon Confederacy representative projected a final set of data. It showed humanity's technological progression, communication strategies, and military innovations. The graph was not a straight line, but a series of unexpected jumps and unpredictable leaps. As the presentations concluded, the unspoken judgment hung in the air. Humanity would need to be controlled, managed, perhaps even restricted. They were too unpredictable, too innovative to be allowed complete freedom. Siak Wu stood quietly, representing not just a diplomatic delegation, but an entire species that refused to be confined by traditional thinking. The Galactic Council would make its decision, and humanity would, as always, find a way to surprise everyone. The official document arrived on a quantum transmission, its digital seal bearing the collective stamp of the Galactic Council. Captain June Park read the contents with a calm that surprised even himself. Humanity was officially banned from participating in any form of organized galactic conflict. The restrictions were comprehensive. Technology development would be monitored, space exploration limited, and any potential military innovations immediately neutralized. But June knew something the alien representatives didn't understand. Restrictions. were just another problem waiting to be solved. In the research facility orbiting Earth, Dr. Hyun Kwan studied the prohibition document. His team gathered around, their expressions a mixture of frustration and quiet excitement. They weren't defeated. They were being challenged. "They think they can stop human innovation," Hyun muttered, his fingers already dancing across quantum interfaces. "They have no idea. The ban wasn't just a legal document. It was a comprehensive attempt to contain human potential. No weapons development, no advanced space exploration beyond specific coordinates, no participation in galactic conflict resolution. But humanity had never been good at following rules." Lieutenant Yoon-ji's Special Operations Team began developing alternative strategies. If they couldn't engage in direct military conflict, they would find other ways to influence galactic dynamics. Diplomatic channels, economic networks, information systems. Everything was a potential avenue of interaction. The alien civilizations believed they had solved the human problem by creating a comprehensive prohibition. They had created detailed monitoring systems, established strict technological barriers, and implemented complex surveillance networks. What they didn't realize was that humans saw restrictions as puzzles waiting to be solved. Within months, human researchers had developed communication technologies that technically violated no explicit rules, but fundamentally challenged the spirit of the prohibition. They weren't creating weapons. They were creating communication systems so advanced, they could potentially redirect entire planetary communication networks. The Galactic Council's monitoring systems began detecting anomalies, subtle shifts in communication protocols, unexpected technological developments that seemed to emerge from nowhere. Each innovation was carefully crafted to exist in the gray areas of the prohibition. "We're not breaking rules," Hyun explained to his team. "We're redefining them." Diplomatic channels became humanity's new battlefield. Where military force was prohibited, economic and cultural influence would take its place. Human negotiators became legendary for their ability to find solutions that no other civilization could imagine. Corporations developed technologies that walked the finest of lines, communication systems that could potentially redirect entire planetary networks, economic platforms that could influence galactic trade without direct military intervention. The ban was supposed to limit humanity. Instead, it was forcing them to become even more innovative. Captain June Park submitted reports that were technically perfect, following every single restriction while subtly demonstrating humanity's continued potential. Each report was a masterpiece of diplomatic language, revealing nothing but suggesting everything. Young researchers saw the prohibition not as a limitation, but as the ultimate challenge. How could they develop technologies that served humanity's interests without technically violating any established rules? The alien civilizations had attempted to create a cage, but they had forgotten one fundamental truth about humanity. They were always best when challenged. Yoon-ji's team began developing new training protocols. If direct military engagement was prohibited, they would focus on diplomatic strategy, psychological understanding, and innovative problem-solving. Years would pass. The prohibition would remain in place. But humanity would continue to evolve, to adapt, to find ways of expressing its potential that no set of rules could ever truly contain. In the research facilities, in diplomatic meetings, in quiet conversations, across the planet, humans continued to do what they did best. Imagine possibilities that no one else could see. The Galactic Council believed they had solved the human problem by creating a comprehensive prohibition. They had no idea they had just created humanity's most exciting challenge yet. June Park looked at the prohibition document one more time and allowed himself a small smile. The game was just beginning.